Well, hello everybody. This is Jackie from Jacqueline Ann Designs, and third time could be a charm here. This will be the third time I've set forth to video this, and so we'll see what happens. Then something happened, either bumped the camera or various and sundry things. Now, if you look around my desk here, it is a mess, stuff piled everywhere. And what it is I have several projects that I'm about to do, which will require all these little bitty pieces. But I want some cool down time. What do you do when you like to cool down? Mine is my collage book. I call it my collage glue book. And this is just the cover that I collaged out of various and sundry things. And what it is, I like to have backgrounds that look similar to this for a lot of my different projects. So I have different pages in here. I have collaged, and none of them have been decorated. They're all just backgrounds. Some of them very neutral. Some of them are even on separate pages. These separate ones I have gone ahead and backed, and they're ready to be cut for some future project. But you can see they kind of almost have a subject matter to them. But some of them are just neutral. But most of what's in here are neutral. This one's kind of in the blues, the French kind of blue colors. And then which leads me to the one that I started in the first 3 attempts on this video. Now, I realize totally 100% that it gets hard to tell when there's this much junk on a table what's going on. But this glue book is, it's an old magazine that was given to me by a family member to read. They were done with it. I read it and then turned it into this book. And I have several of those like that. I love looking at the travel magazines, the RV travel magazines and stuff. And I have a relative that subscribes to some of them. And then when they get done, they pass them on to me. And this is what I do with them. So what I'm doing is taking some of the various bits of paper that are around here and creating 1, possibly 2 pages. So that's what we're doing in today's video. So, and you can see in the other thing before the video went off, I had already been collaging on this page. So I apologize, but you can kind of see, you know the drill behind collaging. You end up with some pages that you need to decorate out of it. Where do I want to put this? Let's put it right there. Yeah. And today there is no sense about what I'm doing. Okay, I'm not trying to make this beautiful or anything else. I'm just kind of trying to create a background. I've been working on, just finished a very large Alice in Wonderland journal. And as a byproduct of that journal, I ended up with another one for me. And but by the time, and I've got it all in there, it's full of pockets. But by the time it got time for me, I had not worked on any more ephemera because I did not know I was going to do that extra journal. So I hadn't worked on any more ephemera for it. But by the time I got to that one, I had nothing left to put in those pockets. So I decided I was kind of burnt out on Alice in Wonderland. So I'm using up some of that. And then when I get ready to make this stuff to go into the pockets of the little journal I'm keeping for myself, I very well may pull this out, use it to make it. Because there's some, this is all, most of this so far, not all of it, is leftovers from that project. So let's see, change my mind on how I'm going to put this. I was looking at that. It almost looks like that has a letter in it. I'm not sure. Okay. Let's cut a piece. See, this has got a little rose here. Let's cut this. You can tell this is a scrapbook paper that I fussy cut images out of. And that's how I ended up with all of these strange shapes. But like I say, I'm not necessarily even looking for any kind of, now I'm going to try not to cover up that butterfly. He's kind of pretty, but you know what, let's take this. Let's do this a different way. Let's use up some of this glue that I just smeared over here. Have you guys seen the prices of these Scotch Creates on Amazon? I went on to Amazon. That's where I've always gotten them. I've not really ever paid that much attention. And I've always gotten them in a pack with like, I don't remember if there were 2 or 3 in the pack. I think I had even bought them in there on the past with 4 in there. Well, I could only find even one seller selling them on Amazon anymore, and he wanted almost $10, $9.90 some odd cents for a glue stick. Well, and I never even paid, I used to pay at the most $2 for them and griped about that. Well, so then I went on to Walmart.com, and some seller on Walmart, I can't remember if it was Walmart itself, .com itself, or a seller on there, had them for $4.50. And that is the cheapest that I have found them. Glue has just gone over the top in the price. And I don't quite get it, why that is. I mean, I understand a lot has gone up, but that is way more than 100%. Way more than that. Well, I already cut this out incorrectly, so we are going to kind of move it over from where I was planning, and it's going to overlap that. Okay. So I'm not going to be paying that much for glue sticks, so I've got to figure out some alternatives and look at some other glue sticks, because I'm just really not going to do that. Nope, not me. What could I say? Now this one has got some trees going up in it, so I don't know if they're evident on the camera or not. So I need for this to go up the long way because of those trees. Golly, I wish I could get both of them in there. I can just make it shorter and then I can get both of them. Because it's not the tops of the trees, it's the tree trunks that are in there. This isn't really going like I normally would make a piece of this. It's not, to me, I'm not caring for it that much, but anyway, well, like I say, I'll do multimedia on it and it'll look like a total different animal when I get done with it anyway. So let's see here. So I'm not going to fret too much about it. I have on my list of wants a new table. I'm going to put this down here instead of there. And it's a want right now because it's definitely not in the budget. But my table is one of those tables that you buy at the big box stores that can be indoors or outdoors. I don't know if you can see the edge of it here on the video or not. I don't think so. But it folds right up the middle. And every one of them I saw that were this length folded right up the middle. And I had this one out in my camper. So I went ahead and brought it in since they were all the same as that anyway. And there's a bump right here on my table. I don't have a smooth work surface here. And I was thinking about getting the Tim Holtz glass craft mat and putting here, because that's cheaper than getting a new big table. But I was looking at it, and it doesn't have adjustable legs on it. So I could not use the craft mat to and adjust the legs on it to cover that. Now, I've seen other people with these tables in their videos. What did you do? Do you just put up with it kind of being that way? It's driving me crazy. I don't like it at all. Yeah, I don't really like it at all being that way. And like for stamping and stuff and stencil work, You know, I'm not the best stencil person anyway. It's something that I'm working hard to try and improve is my stencil work. And I do a lot of it, so I don't quite get myself why I haven't been able to make it look any nicer than it does. And I think part of it is just, I need one aspect of it. I don't think that's all of it because I haven't always had this unlevel of a work surface. But, and I've had problems with my stenciling. Anyway, my stenciling just isn't very pretty. It looks irregular and haphazard and kind of messy. And, you know, there's certain types of art you want to look that way. And you know, and a lot of things that you stencil, you want to look that way. But there's other times you're stenciling something really pretty on a page and you want it to look nice. And I've been stenciling for like 3 years. You would think mine would look nicer by now. But it really doesn't seem to. So I'm just going to cut this, I think. I've got lots of these faux postcards printed out. I have one bucket down here that's for more to put the scraps in. So I'm like creating scraps, getting rid of scraps. And then I have another bucket that is for, you know, garbage down here. So thankfully they do look a little bit different, so I'm not getting them mixed up. Okay. So do you guys like to keep a collage book? Or, you know, that you just kind of keep, and then when you want to pull something from it, you can? Or do you just only make big master boards and things like that, and you make them when you are crafting something in specific, or do you do a combination of those? Just like today, I seem to be doing a combination of tearing and cutting with my scissors. Because sometimes it seems a little bit faster with the scissors. If the scissors are right there, you know? I didn't cut that very straight. Let's see. Put that little end right there. My hands have developed as I've aged a little bit of a shake, and I find it highly irritating. I don't know why they're doing it. It's kind of new, actually, the past few months. And it's, to me, nobody seems to think much of it, but for me, it's somewhat irritating. So, one of those things. Okay. And a lot of my masterboard projects, when I'm all done with them, whatever, like if I turn them into, say, journal cards or tags, I'm going to be sewing on the edges. You know, I'm going to be sewing them. I don't go too gung-ho with the glue. Like a lot of things I put, if you read the instructions, I think on this glue stick, which has been my favorite glue stick for years, or any of them just about, they say, excuse my hiccups, they say things like you need more than one coating of the glue for it to be a permanent bond. And I'm wondering, because I seem to have pretty good luck when I want a permanent bond of there being one. But other people seem to have trouble with that with a glue stick. So, so you can tell this is just really, there's no rhyme or reason to this collage. I'm just kind of in the mood to glue it down. So that's what I'm doing. As you have aged, have you ended up with issues with like your hand shaking, different things like that? You know, sometimes I don't really worry about tiny little corners like that. Because, you know, this stuff, like I said, there's going to be multimedia on there. It depends on what I'm going to do with it. I don't worry about whether my writing necessarily is upside down or not. Different things like that, because, like, see, there's a tiniest little white spot showing. Here, this will eventually get trimmed. But it, like I say, you know, 99.9 times out of 100, when I turn these into anything, there's multimedia stuff being used on them. So they don't end up looking like this at all when you get done anyway. So I am going to cut. One thing though I don't like is dead space. Like how this has got edges on it. Something just flew into the garbage can that I did not put into the garbage can. I need you all to help me because I cannot tell. I think we've only been going, since we started over on the video, it looks like 18 minutes. It's really hard to see the top of the camera. you know, to know if you're even in the thing. What I think I'm going to do once I find out exactly where the sweet spot is for this camera and this arm with the ring light on it, is I will probably, oh, that's neat. I will probably at that point make a marker on the mat that says, you know, here's where you need to keep working here when you're on camera, so that I know exactly where to work. See, this collage is ending up with a selection of stuff that some of it has straight edges and some of it doesn't, which I kind of like that too. Okay. Now here we go again. Now I'm cutting again. I'm tearing again. And whoa, what a good job I did on that. Oh, funny. I'm really not a good tearer of paper. My tears are not usually straight. It's like when I'm even on a cutter. My cuts are not usually straight. For some reason. I mean, I'll have everything lined up, and then I'll take it out. One thing I have figured out is things that are straight to me for some reason don't look straight. So I don't know what that's all about, but nonetheless, it's the truth. Now, I have this kind of a weird little number that apparently I stamped onto here. I'm really not sure why. But, I think maybe just putting that there would be good. All right. Might have been a mistake at some point in time. But I think it's kind of cool nonetheless. I'm going to just stick that right there. All right. So we have a spot here. And then this corner right up in here. What about a dinner menu? I think I'm just going to glue that down there. And then I'll cut it once I'm done. Mock turtle soup. All right, what have we got going here? What is this? And I would like that there, but I don't think I want to cover up those edges. They're cool. So let me see. Got another piece of this, it's a different menu. How you guys go onto Amazon or something. When I very first started doing this, like, I guess about 5 years ago. Although I haven't been doing it like all constantly, because I took 3 years where I was traveling. And when you're traveling, that kind of stuff, it's very difficult to carry stuff to do this. So anyway, you buy all kinds of ephemera that later on, they're not anything you would really ever want, use. That ruler's backwards. And I'm kind of just now getting through a lot of that stuff. Yeah, it's... I don't even like most of it. But, so I try to look at the colors. I much prefer making my own ephemera anymore. And, but I'm really trying hard to use up that stuff. And one thing, you can save a lot of money. Initially, you spend money on the stamps. I don't want to get that over the poor bunny. But, and things like that I use anyway to make ephemera. And, shopping around through Antique Mart, looking through the garbage, driving your family members to to the point where they think that you're just crazy. Our aunt is crazy. You should see some of the stuff she does, man. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any need for me to ink the pages. I've got my ink out, inks out right here at hand. But like I say, I'm going to be using different multimedia on there. And then I think, you know, using the Distress ink on there, the way it reacts to the moisture and everything hitting it, I just think I'd rather wait, because as I said before, I'm going to be using different types of multimedia almost always on these things. So, okay, so there's that one done. Cut this off of the back. And that's another thing is when I'm that's neat about having these magazines. These are travel magazines, but look, there's things in there. Like I did not notice this page before I started gluing everything on it. And so the back, I would love to have cut some of this stuff out. Yeah, but nonetheless, it's too late now. So remember to look on the other side of whatever page it is that you're going to work on, and make sure there's nothing that you want to cut out and save for other collage work on your own. So, anyway, so are you guys collaging, working along with me, or are you doing something different? I sometimes have a love of just sitting there with a cup of coffee and watching you guys, and then deciding what it is that I'm going to do and going back and doing it later. So I rarely am collaging with anybody, even though I say this is a craft with me video. You have to admit that that's why they call this a glue book, right? Everything sticks. That's, like I said, I really want to get away from using paper and books as glue books. I don't like it. I don't like using them. And to me, it's just, I just don't care for it. It's just a mess. They're a mess. I'd rather use the book page for something else. So, and you can see, to try and use it all up, just always have this mess here with everything wanting to stick. And I just don't like it. Your project pieces, stick to it. Don't care for it. Even though I've got tickets in here, we're not focusing this on tickets. It's not going to be a ticket-focused. But believe it or not, a lot of the ephemera that I've got over here is tickets. So, a friend, and she just glues the book. She says it doesn't matter if she goes overboard because she's going to be covering the whole page anyway. And you know, she has a point when you're doing something like this. So maybe I'll give that a try here with the rest of this one. And you probably noticed that the edges on that were not straight, but they're pretty much going to get covered anyway. I'm not really worried about it. I just find some solace in gluing stuff to a book, as strange as that sounds. Boy, I got that crooked. And you know how fast this... Anyway, that's one of the reasons you love this glue stick. But it's also one of the things that can make it pretty irritating. So I might take a piece of this and put it, that's upside down. Say, it doesn't matter actually, but some of this, who knows, I might choose to leave it and not cover it up too, so. I know for sure that other one's getting covered up. I had decided earlier on it was. I'm going to glue that on there, and then I can just go back in there later and trim it. Yeah, that'll fix that. It doesn't have to be there. See how this goes. I think you could probably tear up your glue stick pretty easily doing this. Okay. Stuff that I'm putting into this one seems to have a little bit brighter colors, doesn't it? We may end up with using a lot of this. And this was from a collage type of scrapbook paper, but I cut it up to use as something. So now it's being recollaged. Kind of funny. My niece she made a collage book up here, but about the second day that we went to work with it, she was already bored with it. Yeah. So I don't know if that collage book will ever see the light of day again, or if I will take it over and make it my collage book. I don't know. But yeah, she's already, you know how kids that age, they really don't know what their career is going to be yet, you know? Are they going to? So, I have some other things that would work good in a collage like this. But since we kind of started, because I mean, if you look at it, these are not tickets. These are, you know, advertising ephemera. So, what was that noise, sweetie? Cats outside, I think. I'm not sure, but that's where I think the cat is. Suppose I need to go check. Yeah, you could have almost just taken this piece apart and glued it on, you know, glued on the whole, just glued on that page of stuff on here. And it wouldn't have looked much different, but yet it would have looked it did look a little different. It was neater than this, than mine, yeah. I think this magazine was Texas Monthly, which is a pretty popular magazine if you like to travel, especially the back roads in Texas. There are treasures galore to be found along those back roads. So, and it's that way in most states, but in our state, it just happens to be a good source. And they put it out by the season because there's different places that are, you know, have most festivals at certain seasons and things like that. So, something other than a ticket. But it's numbers. I think they kind of fit in. Let's see. That orange ticket's pretty much gotten covered up, hasn't it? Let's do this like this. Well, see, that was only a partial ticket anyway. I wanted some of the numbers off of it. Yeah, like here. In my ever-ending quest to make more itty-bitties, there is one right there. All right. Oh, look here. More of that stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that's perfect for right there, actually. Have you guys ever bought any of those books off of Amazon? And the 70-piece, they're a book. And they're actually produced by someone here in Texas. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. And they have a lot of stuff in them. But they're not, it's made on this, that's what this is. And it's made on this kind of a strange paper. I don't like the paper that it's made out of. And it's not real glossy, but it's not matte either. And they kind of advertised it to be matte. And I don't know if mine was just misprinted. It wasn't matte. I honestly cannot tell you that. I don't know the answer. But, and they're kind of expensive for what they are. If you look at them as well. Oh, now this is cool. Guess what's going there? Now this will have to have some glue applied right in there. Okay. And it's glued down. Oh, didn't get it in glue right over here. Okay. And this was from a piece of scrapbook paper that looked like an email. A letter. But anyway, and, oh look, here's some more. Well, there's several itty bitties there. And I'm not going to use this on this project, so let's make it and put it in our itty bitties area. I mean, it needs trimmed a little bit more, but all right. I've been trying to make more of those Tim Holtz, my own, something similar to the Tim Holtz. He put the little itty bitty squares and things to put that he has in some of his little packets. They're great. I absolutely love them. But I keep going up to my local Joann's, which is where his stuff mostly was. I haven't been into Hobby Lobby since I've been home. Their shelves are empty. They're empty pegs. They have nothing that in the Tim Holtz section. Nothing. So, I mean, there's other areas of their store that are full, as it always has been, and other areas that just, and it's messy. It's like walking, and Joann's was never like this. It's like walking into a junk store right now. And I've never seen Joann's look like that. I don't even think when Ben Franklin went under that they looked like that. And it does make me think they're about to go out of business. And I've heard that there's been Joann's being shut down throughout the country. So then I asked the girl at work, are they about to shut this place down? Why is it like this in here? And she says, no, they're not about to shut us down. She said they were basically being used as a warehouse more than anything else. She said, but they're not about to shut us down. And I just kind of thought, well, That's not really what it looks like. I mean, it looks like, you know, looks like they're about to be shut down. So, but, you know, I didn't say anything further because I didn't want to hurt her feelings by telling her the store looked crappy. It did look crappy. I mean, and you can't, I mean, literally hardly anything had any prices on it. It was a mess. You couldn't tell. I walked out and left stuff there without purchasing because I could not tell what the price was. And several things I picked up, and I would ask them if this was in an area marked that things were on sale. Oh, that isn't for sale, on sale. And I said, there's a sign there. Oh, and they went and moved the sign and put it back. It's not the right tone. What about this one? And put it back. And I just thought, man, you know, life is not always fair, is it? You know. So, anyway, this is today's video. We're going to finish up. And I want to thank y'all for being patient with me as I learn. I know that my videos are not the best. My camera's constantly shaking. I'm not in good frame. And I'm still working on the art of conversation while I craft because I live alone. And normally my crafting is done by myself. And so I do apologize for that right away. But anyway, I am gonna go off the camera now. I'm gonna say goodnight, go off the camera, and then so that I can close this book and put it away, I am gonna use my dryer on these sheets, on these pages. And be starting on another video right away after this one because it's just some work I need to do on this, some stuff here. So, I might as if you're in, but it won't get posted today. It will be for tomorrow. And I want to thank those of you who watched that ridiculous hour and 40 minute, hour and 50 minute, whatever it might have been, video that I posted yesterday. I apologize profusely for how long that video was, but I had worked so hard to record it thinking I was going to divide it up into 2 videos. And when I got into my editing software, it flat out would not divide it up. And it even has a mode to cut it, you know, to split it and do all of that. And I couldn't get it to divide it up into, it was either going to make me delete the whole video, or it was going to allow me to, delete whatever I cut off. Or I had to, you know, put the whole video in. So I'm sure there's something about the iMovie software that I have not figured out how to do that in. So I'm going to have to do some research on that. But I could not bring myself, after all the work I had put into that project, to throw it away, the video away. So there is an outrageously long video posted on Jacqueline Ann Designs on the YouTube channel. And I want to apologize for the length of it and thank anyone that decides that they want to watch it. It's really actually a pretty cool video where I saw Ms. Paints a Lot do some neat things. And I'm going to do some of the other projects that she's got going on right now on a series that she's doing. And so I hope y'all watch, and because I think some of the stuff she has done is really cute. But we'll talk to you later. And go look at Ms. Paints a Lot's channel as well. Just go in your search bar and MSPAINTSALOT, Ms. Paints a Lot, and you will find her channel. Love ya, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.